There, now it says on air. Okay,
I should
good.
have
All
got a
right.
haircut.
Okay.
Question.
I hear a haunting sound in the background. Must be
That-
because it's almost Halloween.
It's somebody's mic. It could be mine.
I bet it's mine. I don't have earphones in. I'll bet you it's my own.
It's not mine. I have.
What happens is somebody's just at the edge of feedback and it's just got a low hum.
Yeah, I'll get my headset on.
I'll do the same just in case it's my audio. Okay. I'm also going to adjust my camera to have a little bit better light.
This sounds like the way our online, what do we call it at a live group? Is that what we call it?
Mm-hmm.
This Hangout's going kind of the same way our online live group used to go.
Yeah.
Spend the whole time getting ready?
Yeah.
Spend
Is
10
that
to
what you
15
mean?
minutes getting set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you guys still hear the hum?
I don't.
I don't hear
You still hear the haunting sound, Barb?
Yes.
I'm going to put mine on. I'm going to put my headset on and see if it's me.
I thought maybe it was just because it was Halloween.
You have to... I'm still hearing...
It's still, I mean, it's okay. I can deal with it. It's not a big deal.
Nice chair, Mike.
Jeez. They whisked it. Whoever is making that noise whisked them away. Are we the only guy? Linda and I are the only two here?
Phil's here.
Oh, and Phil. Of course. I can even see Phil.
Okay, what are these guys?
I haven't had my shower yet. That's one of the reasons I wouldn't turn my camera on.
Hey.
I just got through working out.
Oh, good for you. I did mine early, so.
Yikes. I just put my headset on and got it to... Now it's so loud.
Yeah, I had to turn mine down on my computer
Oh.
because I don't have an adjustment on my headset.
Okay, since I'm on speaker or on headset now too, does that get rid of the
Yep.
sound?
Yeah, it's gone.
Huh, must have been a me. That's weird.
That's the feedback. We talked about that early on.
Michael's going to tell us all the cool things that are going on with Facebook.
Okay, great. And then I have two very specific questions.
I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that since I told him, I said, of all times for us to have such a small group when I haven't really prepared and have any specific questions. I am so far behind in doing my own stuff. It's embarrassing.
Oh, well, you're the only one. You know that.
I have been busy, though, with work, and that's good. I mean,
Good.
paying work, which, we all strive for.
Yes. Oh,
Good.
somebody else just jumped on.
Sorry, I left my
Looks like Rebecca's curly hair.
Yeah, we just see the tip of your hair. You need to adjust your camera there, Missy.
Actually, that's kind of cool. I like that.
You like looking
And
at the...
who is
We should
it?
all do it.
I'll just, it's the top of the headshot.
Yeah.
Only your, so. Now we have eyes. We can see your eyes almost. Okay.
Not quite.
Okay. So I think this is everybody. I haven't gotten a message from anybody else that is going to join us. So let's move ahead.
I can't make mine touch ceiling.
Yeah, there you go. So let's start off with your questions, and I'll start working through those, and then we'll jump into the new gadgetry after that.
Barb has
Okay, well, this
questions.
Yeah. I have two things, Mike, and
Okay.
it may seem like I should already know this from all the learning we've done, but I need a crash course here.
Okay.
First thing is, I have a book coming out. I'm in a compilation book. It comes out a week from today.
Okay.
Congratulations.
And I want,
Yeah.
thank you.
Congratulations.
And I want to maximize, the social media to drive people to Amazon to purchase a book because, we're looking for a bestseller.
Sure.
And then beyond that, so I don't want it just to be a, flash in the pan one day. Then beyond that is then to drive sales to my website where, I'll fulfill the orders. And to have it be a magnet to my website for other programs, etc., that I would be offering and to contact me.
Okay. So starting off with the book, you guys can chime in here. One of the easiest and so one of the easiest that people really miss is taking quotes out of the book, and so you can share the link to that book in multiple different ways. What you don't want to do is just drop a link to the book and say, hey, buy my book. That works once or twice, but you've got to give it a fresh look. You've got to give it, Phil has done this process, and he can speak to that as well. You've got to give it a different flavor and offer something that is going to entice people to click through and potentially purchase the book. So quotes are one of the great ways to do that. Give me a really juicy quote from the book, something that I care about and is going to benefit my life. You can put it out with an image, you can put it out without an image. You can try both and see what works best. But that is my first suggestion. Anybody else want to chime in there?
I think Jeff Love has done a pretty good job. Maybe you're behind that, Mike. You might be the guy behind it. I don't know. But what Jeff is doing, I think, is very effective. It seems to be effective. I don't know if it is.
Yes.
It really is, but it seems like it is to me from what I can see.
Right, and his PDF version is available, I think, this next week. So we just had this very conversation. So what now? So what they've been doing is for the last 6 months, they've been building audience. They've been talking about the components of the book. So basically, he took the titles of the book. He's had a blog post go out every day. He's done a lot of the things that I've told you guys in the past, that there's a theme on every day of the week, and that kind of content has been going out now. And actually what he did is he paid his daughter to do it. So I did some sessions with them walking through, here's what we do, setting up the calendar and the posts, and they've really done Phil's right, a bang-up job in promoting his Life Palette book.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm a little late for building. I'm a little late for that, but I certainly could start. I certainly could start doing that over the next week.
What I would say is yes. You need to start in that process, because sometimes you can do it this way. So he began pre-publish. Sometimes you can get to the point of publishing and then start the process, and you're really not going to meet your maximum for 6 to 9 months. But I would suggest maybe tune in to that page, Life Palette, and kind of see what they do and how they do it. She's really done a really bang-up job.
So tell me again the name of it. Life what?
Life Palette.
Palette. Okay.
Let me see what the actual address is, and I'll drop it here in just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of those words that's most likely going to get misspelled when people try to put it in. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. I mean, I can do that over the next week, and this certainly is good knowledge for doing my own book, which is probably a year away.
Sure.
And then what is your suggestion that I would take a shorter clip and do it on Twitter?
Well, anything that you do on Facebook, you should do some version of it on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
So I dropped the link there to the Life Pellet book.
Thank you.
And so for what you're doing, I would say important is going to be Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest.
Okay.
Pinterest is where you're going to have to really come up with some strong imagery that represents visually what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
But click through to purchase is higher on Pinterest than it is on Facebook or Twitter.
What's higher?
Click through to purchase.
Oh, click through. Oh, click through to purchase. Okay.
Yeah. You close more sales off of Pinterest. Much smaller audience, but if you have a product that they want and like, you'll sell more units there. So I have a large-scale client. He has his best conversion rate off of Pinterest, and he may have maybe 1,200 people that follows him on his Pinterest and 25,000 that follows him on his Facebook.
Wow. Wow.
Barbara, I think you told me you didn't like video, but if you could do a short little video, 30-second or 1-minute video clips on YouTube or something like that, that could also add value to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm getting over my resistance. I actually have a almost 3-minute video on the website for the book. There's a website for the book.
Okay. So I think that's right on the money, Phil. Good advice. Barbara, I would say you're going to need to make it in some more consumable, small videos.
Yes.
So 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So you can cut up the one you have or record new ones to where you're literally saying, hey, here's something, and read something from the book and say, here's the thought behind that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a great idea. I kind of, they're very amateurish, but somebody told me that doesn't even matter at this point. It's more to get it out there.
That's right. That's right. Your video content. So if you go look at Gary Vaynerchuk, for instance, sometimes I crack up at how inappropriate he has clothing and everything else when he's doing videos. I mean, he'll do a midnight video where he woke up thinking about something, get up and shoot it, and he's got a torn T-shirt on, and the guy sells millions of dollars in books and wine. I mean, he's the best there is at it.
Yeah.
So if that's the standard, if your hair is combed and you're reasonably clothed, and people can see who you are and hear who you are, then you're okay.
Okay. Well, the biggest problem I had was lighting, which is always, I guess that's everybody's nemesis, is the lighting. I'm happy with the content that's going up on the website.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of tricks to lighting. One of the biggest being if you can get into a room and film during the day where there's a substantial amount of ambient lighting, that makes a huge difference. Or if you can film outside in the shade where you've got a limited amount of distracting noise. That typically is really good light.
Okay.
What's really
outdoors is always best.
Yeah, audio is very important. People don't realize this a lot, but audio is really the main thing. You can have awesome video, and if your audio sucks, people don't like it. But if your audio is good, you can get away with some issues with lighting. I mean, I've kind of figured out little tricks that I do even in here. Sometimes I'm doing video shoots in here during the day. Sometimes I'm doing them at night. And Michael's right. If you can do them during the day, that's the best thing. But audio is very important.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And we're going to spend a ton of time on that. The next training class is all video. and we're going to talk about, lighting and sound and tools and how to do that the best that you can with the environment that you have.
Yeah. Well, I have to go back on, now that it's actually up on the website, I have to check the audio.
Mm-hmm.
The audio, actually, I did it with my iPad, and my iPad was probably, I don't know, within 3 feet of me,
Mm-hmm.
and the sound actually sounded pretty good when I played it back for myself. They've now mounted it up on YouTube, and it's available on the
Mm-hmm.
website, so now I've got to recheck it.
Yeah, so it more than likely is because of that distance. It's when you try to film the same one and you're 5 feet away, your audio will get really hollow and tinny. So you've either got to be really close, or Phil will tell you, and I completely agree, always use a mic. If you've got a plug-in lapel mic to plug into your iPad, always use it, because you're going to get substantially more breadth of sound of your voice if you use that.
And where is Radio Shack a decent place to get one, or what kind of lavalier mic is best?
Yeah, Radio Shack has got a $35 microphone that's got a little on and off switch, and it has a little battery in the switch. It clips. It's a lavalier. It clips right to your just like that. Very simple, very easy to use. I believe Guitar Center also has another version of that that's $20 or so.
Okay.
But they work, and it's amazing how much difference those mics will make in the quality and the breadth of the sound. So the dilemma is, especially, a perfect example, a crew got a new set of equipment with a really, amazing shotgun mic, which is a, high-end camera with a mic mounted on it. And they shot a video of Jeff, the guy writing the book, and they shot it from about 7 feet away. And, they were excited because of their new tool. But what happened is that audio was so thin and so tinny that when they went to a live experience, they couldn't push the volume on the video. Had they just clipped in his little lapel mic, they would have been golden, and they would have had a really good quality with the ability to adjust audio up and down and hear very clearly.
Okay, great. Thanks.
You betcha. Okay, as far as I think anything in a PDF book is always, or a book, is always going to be great bait to get people to opt into something you want them to opt into. So. Yeah,
it's not a PDF book. It's
a paperback or hardback?
It's a paper book, yeah.
Okay.
Are you on Kindle too?
We're not going to do Kindle for about 3 months.
Okay.
Because if you do something I don't know, but this is why it works to, pays to work with somebody who's done it before. If you release Kindle and paper at the same time, it really dilutes the sales. And what they're looking for is bestseller. So it'll go into Kindle. And what I should do, thank you for saying that, Phil, because what I can be doing is I can be building the audience for that release, which will help, attract people to me. And so we'll work, Jeff's idea for the Kindle release. I think the last one she did, which was Success in High Heels, they waited 6 months before the Kindle came out.
So a consideration, I was assuming you had already done that, is to talk to them about a PDF version that you guys can all utilize, or maybe it's a chapter, or a snapshot. So take the book itself and take a snapshot of each person's content, put it into a small PDF that you can offer as an opt-in, like an email opt-in.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people will do is they'll take the first chapter, and this is for book sales as well. And they'll say, hey, I'm going to give you my first chapter if you give me your email. You're enticing them to begin the read, and if they're excited enough about it, then they're going to go buy the book. And you definitely can increase sales that way.
Well, see, I'm only one chapter among 24, 25 other people, other women.
Right. So a good consideration there would be to just take the opening paragraph from everyone, put it into a PDF, and that would be really substantial bait that everybody could then use to sell the book and to drive traffic to your email list.
That's great. Great idea. And there was one other thing I was going to say about, what was I going to say? Oh, I know. Another thing that I've seen authors do is to offer that if you buy the book on X day, which is opening day, and send a photocopy of your receipt with it, here, I have a gift for you. What do you think about that?
Too many steps.
Okay.
So our world today is if it's not one click easy, it's really going to be difficult to get people to take any of those actions. So is there a way that they could just click something or something else to make it a quicker process?
Well, I think what I did, I've bitten that bait twice, is that I just took the Amazon receipt, the screen, and I just did a forward, and I forwarded it to that person, and then so it was just forward and then on to her, and that was all I had to do.
Okay. So that might work in that you're just having to forward it. You'll have a little bit of security concern in that you're going to have a ship to address and a few things on that receipt that people may not want to share.
Yeah.
But that is one step, and it is easy.
I have a question for you, Barb, relating to that. When you first of all, how many books are you intending to? What's your goal as far as how many books you hope to influence the sale of during this special window?
Geez,
I'm just trying to get perspective.
I didn't, leave it to me and leave it to you. Great minds think differently. I didn't have a goal. I've never done it before, so I really didn't have a goal.
I was just thinking in terms of, you do coaching, and I didn't know if you were also trying to drive traffic, because there are a lot of people who know you, who haven't paid to work with you yet, who might buy your book and be inspired to buy your book in this window of time for the opportunity to participate in some special something that you're offering. So, but that might be 10, 15, 20 people, and that might be really great to you, or that may just be such small peanuts that you don't want to bother with.
That would be great, and maybe what I have to do is so this is stream of consciousness as we're talking, but have a teleclass or something that those who buy the book or are interested would opt into. It's too bad I didn't have that set up beforehand, that if you came to the teleclass, no, that wouldn't have worked.
Well, someone like me is going to buy your book anyway, but I would be more inclined to buy it in your special window if it was part of a bigger something,
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that, because I can offer a three-part teleclass complimentary to buying it on that day.
Yeah, that would be a good promotion. I would say when you're doing, if you're going to build around that, you're obviously probably going to already do a Google event as well as a Facebook event to drive traffic to that.
Yeah.
But I think, Linda's also, a good point that we all have to help remind one another. Start with the end in mind. How many units do you want to sell? And then let's build a strategy that'll accomplish that.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And I agree with the hot button point. That's just the way I am. If I can put it off, it's going to happen. But hey, if you can get it
Yeah.
Yeah.
today only, I'm on it.
Yeah, that day. The driving to people to Amazon is that one day.
Okay.
And then
Well-
after that, it's driving them to my website to buy it.
So the other thing I would say there is one of the suggestions I would make is talk to as many partners like people in this Hangout and others and make that special request. Hey, would you help me out on that day and share my link?
Yeah.
So we, as a group of businessmen and women, have the ability to help each other greatly in these scenarios.
Yeah.
Putting it in front of a different audience, putting our content out there where other people can see it. And then at some point, I'm going to have something that I'll ask a favor in return.
Absolutely.
Really, that's how business is done. We just need to apply it to our digital life as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
Just out of curiosity, does anybody know what it takes for a book to be a bestseller on a day like that? I have no sense of what the numbers are.
Well, it's not just numbers. It has to do with how many other books, and there's a whole bunch of different categories on Amazon. So it has to do with how many other books are released on that date in those categories, and how you may only be the bestseller for like 1 second, but the woman who's the publisher has done this before, and so she and her team are always monitoring it, and they get a screenshot for your verification of the moment that you were bestseller. And it may go on for longer, but it may only be a moment.
Okay. All right. We need to move ahead here, guys, because that's some really good content for Barb. And
Thank you.
You bet. So anybody else got something you're stuck on or working towards a big event or something that you need help with?
Not right now.
Silence.
Pertaining to Facebook, you mean?
No, it doesn't. When we get in the Hangout, it's whatever you need. So if you got something new, you're trying to work around an idea of how to promote it, that's what we do in here. Or you're stuck on a platform. I'm trying to get this to do this, and I need help to get through that.
I have a tiny thing.
Okay.
When I'm not posting an album, but I want to do more than one picture, when it says on the post, it says picture with the S. But if I upload one picture to it when I'm getting ready to post and add another one, it automatically deletes the first one and only puts the last one that I put in.
Now,
Any way to add?
remind me again what you're using to post from?
I'm sorry, for Facebook.
On a phone or a desktop or?
Desktop.
Oh, that is weird from desktop. I would say, let me pop up screen share, and we'll take a look at it. There we go.
Michael, did you see all the crap that was on our Q&A screen?
Yeah.
We were being spammed.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
There's a link there to mark it as spam, but that's just a bunch of junk. So no worries, I'll turn that off and go back to chat. So we're on my Facebook page. We're on Facebook page. Are you on your business page, Rebecca?
Not the second, but I'll get there.
No, I mean so this dilemma
Oh, yes.
is Okay.
On my business page.
All right. So on business page, a photo video. I'm assuming that you're choosing create photo album.
No.
Yeah, that's the fix. Anything that is upload photos is typically, you can still do multiples through it, but when you're doing multiples, you need to do it in a photo album.
Okay.
So when I walk in here and I go to create photo album, I'll pop that up, and
Are you
maybe
supposed
I
to be
will.
showing us your screen, Michael?
Yes, let me switch back to
Because I
that.
just see
Forgive me.
you.
Yeah,
It's all right.
I switched out to make sure I grab the right one. Okay, so now when I go to pictures, if I were to select all of those pictures, I could take all of them in one shot, boom, they're going to upload, and I can go on my way. So photo album versus photo or video.
But notice it says upload, if you go to the one on the left, it says upload photos, video.
It does, and I believe you still can do more than one. Let me try. So I'm gonna.
Part of
No,
my
it's
problem
only.
is that
It only allows you to select.
maybe I'm doing the album wrong, but if I do an album, it doesn't necessarily post in the news.
Yeah, it does. It does. So go to photo video. Only one photo or one video here. But if you go through album, that's when you can select multiple.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
And you should be doing tons of albums. I know how many pictures you guys take at events. And then you need to get back on the saddle of tagging.
Yep.
I saw that last group went out, but it didn't get tagged.
Oh, on the breakfast? Actually, it might have been, and that wasn't me that uploaded that. It might have been.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But as a team, definitely you want to have that strategy, so that even if you're not doing it, that we're all tagging those photos. Because when you do that breakfast and take those photos and put them out, you guys, with as many people are at that meeting, you can reach 10,000 impressions in a blink just by tagging those photos. Tons of reach in that room. So lots of friends. They have, a lot of people in that room have, 1,000 friends on Facebook. So by tagging, you're getting a substantial amount of reach well beyond your existing Facebook.
Mike, when you're done with that question from Rebecca, I have a
Cool. You comfortable with that, Rebecca?
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
You're up,
Thank
Phil.
you.
Hey, and you told me this, but like when I go to upload a picture on Facebook, and if the image is pretty large, it doesn't fit within the box that
Correct.
Facebook gives you. Is there a way to edit it when you're on Facebook, or do I need to edit it before I upload it?
Unfortunately, you're gonna really have to pre-edit that photo because, and here's another piece to that. Let's say that you're working in Photoshop and you're saving an image. Don't do the save for web process, because you're going to compress it, and then Facebook is going to compress it a second time, and that's when you get that really fuzzy, pixelated stuff around text quite a bit. So save it as a JPEG, but save it as high quality JPEG as you can, and then just compress the size. I would say ideally now 500 pixels wide is a great image size.
Okay. I couldn't remember. It seems like I thought there was a way to go in there and mess with it once you've uploaded it, but obviously there's not. So, okay.
Yep.
On that same point, how about iPhoto?
Same kind of thing. iPhoto has the ability to compress an image for web. You can save an image for the internet, but don't do that. Just save it as a JPEG or a PNG.
Okay.
and save it as high quality as you can. Because Facebook is going to run it through a compression before they load it to your Facebook page or profile.
Okay.
You don't want to double compress because then you get really fuzzy, messed up looking images.
Okay, so that may, I'll use that as my excuse.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to jump back over to Facebook. Any other questions right away, guys? I'm going to show you a few new features for Facebook. And I actually have them in an article here, but I want to show you something funny. Here's our YouTube class. If you'll notice, even events now have an image size that is substantially larger. I'm going to flip-flop my screens here so I quit looking away. Okay. So if you see our event now, typically in the past when you did event images, they were really small when they posted to the page.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have a nice, big, robust image here that represents that event.
Cool.
So make sure you load an image into the header part of every event that you do. It's kind of like a cover.
Mike, let me just get some clarification. So what I'm seeing on the screen, where it was posted September 29th, that online Bismarck is the size of the image for the event?
Yes, it is. So let me click on that.
Holy cow.
Exactly. So that's a big change.
Kinda hard
And what
to
it's
miss.
doing is it's taking this image that we've loaded to the page and using that image as the marker for the event.
So that's the banner.
Exactly. So when we back up here now, you'll see in the event, there it is. Now it's cropped the bottom part of it, so you need to see what it's going to look like when it lands over here, but I couldn't be happier with how that represents itself. Now, you know, you might say it would be more appropriate to put a graphic in there that says something about YouTube, and that may be something that I change out, but that's how large the image is.
Do you have a choice of what image goes in there?
No, it's whatever you put in the cover image or the header image.
Okay, so it will be the header image. So if you wanted to do something different, like YouTube or something, you'd have to at least temporarily put that in your banner.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I jump in? So for instance,
yeah.
so if we have a JPEG event flyer that maybe contains a picture, put that into the header.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that it's big and readable like this, and that it's not some kind of a cluttered image. So I'm going to grab my ruler to give you the measurements on this.
Thanks.
It's the width is 700 and looks like 715, and the height is 260. So that's the image size that you really want to set up and optimize.
So Michael, I'm thinking through this out loud right now. So if I took the cover, if the cover of the book is going to be horizontal as opposed to landscape, so if I took that, I could crop some part of the cover of the book and make it 260 by 715, right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that would be definitely one. Another way to do it would be something like this. So he's represented the book, but you know he's got a graphic that's intermixed, and actually this graphic is actually this graphic right here. Okay. So this is a piece of the book, but then he wanted to represent the actual book itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
That's gorgeous.
A couple ways to do that. So again, you want to maximize your video size. It's going to be very important to do so, because now, what does that mean? If somebody sees a post on their timeline and they see this versus, this size image, that's a big difference. And how many times it's going to get clicked will be substantially different if it's got something this big. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about big images. So if you look at this post here, this is actually a blog post from our Online Biz Smarts blog. See how large this image is?
Uh-huh.
Now, so again, you can write a blog post, and if you include a large image in that blog post, you can choose that image, and instead of that little bitty box here, it's going to give you the whole screen image. Are you following that?
Now say it
So
again.
So the difference is, look at this one here from Temp Connection.
Yeah.
This is the old way that it used to always be. It would give you this little box here and a summary of the post right here.
Correct.
So now, if you use a large image in your blog post, it will allow you to choose that image, and it's going to demonstrate the post like this. And so if you're scrolling, which one are you more likely to choose?
Yeah.
Probably that bigger image if it's an enticing image that matches, what the article says.
And then they give you the summary of the article below it as opposed to beside it.
Yes, yeah. So the first paragraph or so, it's going to take that information and bring it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Much more effective.
So I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to actually click that link and go to the blog post. Okay, so here's a couple of things in play on this. So larger Facebook post images for your blog, and I explained everything that we talked about, but look at this. Now this is using the new embed tool. I took that article from Facebook, and I'll show you how to do it here in just a moment. And I got the embed code and I put it into our blog post. So if I land here and I haven't liked the page yet, I can even like the Facebook page from here. I can click on this article. I can like, comment, and share. If I click, guess what it does? It takes me right to that post, and I'm engaging with everybody on Facebook.
So is that blog post posted on your website?
Yes. Yeah. So this is on our Online Biz Smarts website and blog.
Yep.
This is an embedded Facebook post.
Got it.
This is just an embedded image. But because I dropped the image in, it gave me that really big picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Linda.
I'm back.
All right.
Hi.
So I'm going to walk through that on Facebook as if we were going to do it. So here we are on Facebook, and I'll go down to where, let's use this post. So again, you see it pulled a larger image over, and this is the article on the 10 most recent changes on Facebook that I'm talking about. And if you'll notice, they mislabeled their title. There's actually 10 in the article, but their description that they started with was 6, and they forgot to update this. You can see Dale and I had a whole conversation about it. So you can come right here to the little drop down and say embed post, and it's going to pop up a little dialog box. And all I've got to do is copy and paste this little bit of code into whatever website or blog that I want to embed that post on. So now I can take my Facebook post and I can go embed it on my website. So there's a lot of possibilities. You could take your big events. You could take your events and embed those on your website. There's a lot of different ways to share this content.
And when you embed that on your website, you create a blog post, right, to embed that onto or
Correct.
into.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can see that's exactly what I did in this post. I began writing the article, and you see this is actually a live embedded post from Facebook, okay? And then this is just the large image I put into the blog post in order to get that large image experience here when I shared that post. So it makes it so that as long as your image on what I played with this, when I did an image that was over 500 pixels wide, it gave me this big image box versus the small one that you see here when I shared this link of Jen's.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a nice, vibrant image, this is really going to pop if it's something that's very enticing to what the article's about. One of the things is that Google Plus has the embed feature as well. I have not played with it a lot, but this is my post. I can go to somebody else's post and I can do a link to the post and share that out. That's how I push my Google Plus to Pinterest. Just take this link and push it out. But you can go to somebody else's article like this, and I can get the embed link to that article and put it on my website.
How did you get that embed code again?
It's really the same thing. Let me go to this article here, the one that I shared. You click the little drop down. It even looks the same as on Facebook.
Okay.
And now this one's not giving me the ability to embed, but this one was. And it's has it been shared publicly? This article has not been shared publicly. This one has. Therefore, I'm able to embed the post. Pops up the embed code. I take that code and then go put it into my website or my blog post or whatever that may be. So effectively what you're able to do is, let's say that you're writing a blog post about somebody else's article. You could go to Facebook or you could go to their Google Plus and basically take that article and embed it into your post. And then go ahead and talk about it. So it's substantially better than just a link in order to write an article. And I shouldn't be showing you some of those private pictures there. Jeff modeling a little girl's shirt. We did a scavenger hunt on Tuesday, and let's see here. Back to Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the rest of these. I'm going to jump to this article, and you'll see it's funny. It's actually 10 Facebook updates. 10 Facebook updates you need to know about. So what happened is, when he originally wrote the article, he put 6, but he forgot to edit the actual URL and URL description that he started with 6 Facebook updates you need to know about. So this is, again, relevant ads and news feed. I don't know if we'll spend a lot of time on that. This is going to be pretty big here. This isn't completely rolled out yet, but it's coming. Facebook launched Graph Search. Now they're going to add all of your pictures and all of your posts to Graph Search. So you can find stuff of your own, or let's say that I saw a really funny picture on Phil's wall, and it's 3 days later, and I want to share that with somebody. I can use Graph Search to then utilize something that I knew about that post to search for that content and find it, unless Phil has decided to make it private. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and do you have to put in the tags for what the keywords for each of those images is?
Well, if you'll look at I don't know if you can read this, but in this search bar is his posts from last year.
Okay. I can't see what it says, but I see
Yep.
some things there.
Yeah. So here's another one that says posts written at the White House. So there's a lot of different ways that you'll be able to search for particular content and things that are happening. Basically what that does is it allows for a little bit more live and interactive experience. So if people are allowing their content to be public, you'll be able to say something's happening like the Boston bombing. You'll be able to search that and find real-time images that people are posting live on Facebook. So it makes it a little bit more live like Twitter, but again, the filter of that is, do you have your content set up to where it's public? If that's the case, you're going to be able to see that. If it's not, then it wouldn't be searchable with Graph Search. Make sense?
Yep.
So this is one of my new favorites. Number 3, editing posts after publish. Yay!
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So here's a funny story. When I originally posted this article, this one, let me find it. Okay, where did it jump to? So this one. Nope. I am totally blanking on where my article went. Yes, it's this one right here. I'm sorry. So here's a good summary of it. So I started out with this, and I started out and put the 10 most recent changes. And then Dale saw that the title said 6 and changed it to 6, and then she read the article. So we both edited this like 5 times before it was finally we put it as what is in the article, not what the title says. But what you do is just come to your little drop down on your page, and then just come right here to edit, and it gives you the ability to then edit that post. So it'll allow you to edit what you said about it. So for those of us who are prone to high levels of typos, this is a brilliant tool.
I think everybody has something in their life they would like to go back and edit.
Yes. So here's another thing. I don't know if you know about this, but in the past we always told you guys that you have to use a third-party app to run a contest on your page. That no longer is the case. You can run contests on your page. It's up to you to know what the state and federal rules are for contests where you live. So you can give away and do, but you've got to do it within the context of what your state requires.
Yeah.
You guys know about hashtags. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. Edge rank updates. Here's something very important that I want you to see. How do they define high quality content? More importantly, look at what will be not considered high quality content. Is the content genuinely interesting to you, or is it trying to game newsfeed distribution? In other words, if you're writing in your post asking people to like the content, it's going to automatically define that as not high quality content. So don't ask people to like your content.
That's so bold.
Yeah, well, you know what though? It for a lot of businesses, they've been very successful with it. So it was the current non-written rule of the day that that's what some people did, and they found success with it. But the intent is Facebook wants natural, organic content that other people care about and like. So artificially stimulated content is no longer going to be recognized as high-quality content.
Does it also screen for people who say, and I want you to read my high content article, which makes me crazy?
Okay. No, you definitely can put that kind of thing in it. It's more the intent of like this, share this, etc. But you can still be appropriate with that. If you find this content useful, you can pass it on to somebody who it might be helpful to.
Yeah,
there's another way to say it than say, please, please, please share my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's your new image size. And again, this article is on our website. So desktop news feed is still 400 wide, 400 by 209. Mobile 560s by 296 is image size. Sidebar images 100 pixels. We talked about embedded post, and I showed you what that looks like. And then here's another new piece, autoplay video. So these Facebook has now changed this by auto-playing videos that appear in the news feed. They will begin silently and will only play sound once the user clicks on them. Currently, only videos from individuals, verified pages, pages of musicians, and bands autoplay. And then we've spent some time talking about the new Facebook Insights. Very substantial, robust overhaul. If you haven't been in your Insights since this change, you're really missing out. I love the new Insights and how much information they can give you about your audience. I'll jump to ours right quick. Post reach. Probably my favorite is actually going to posts, and when your fans are online is my absolute favorite tool. So this tells me you can see the days of the week as well as the hours of the day. And our peak from most recent is Thursday. Thursday is our peak day, very close to Wednesday. And if you mouse over those, it'll show you the hours for that day. Can you guys see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
So here's Thursday, and it shows you our biggest peak is around 4 p.m., which is pretty weird. That's not average or normal. So that's something I would need to know. Afternoon is a big deal on Thursday, on my biggest day. Wednesday, my peak, this is a little more typical. My peak is at 8 o'clock. So I hit my Wednesday peak, 8 o'clock. Tuesday, my peak is in the morning, 10 a.m. Monday, it looks like it's in the afternoon. I actually have some pretty good traffic on Sunday from 10 to 7, but Friday and Saturday are definitely my lightest days. And again, this data is when people who like my page are on the internet on Facebook.
Not necessarily on your page, but when they're on
When they're
internet and
on-
Facebook.
Yeah, when they're on Facebook.
Okay, got it.
How do you
Cool.
get to that, Mike? You go to overview, you go to all post, or what's going on?
You go to posts, and then there's a little middle option when your fans are online.
Okay, I see that. Okay, got it. Okay.
So a surprising thing is we have trends sometimes of the year when Saturday and Sunday are really big times for us. So you have to adjust your posting strategy based on what is your audience doing, what are they trending, how are they interacting, and post when they're online.
Ours peaks at 8 p.m.
That's pretty typical. 7 to 8 p.m. is most of the time the biggest peak. Your next biggest one typically is at 10 a.m., but you have days where they'll flip-flop and be opposite. All right, guys, any other questions?
I'm going to need to go, so I'll see you guys
Yep.
later. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You betcha.
Thanks, Michael. It's been good.
Yeah.
Great
Michael,
class, all. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for the future. This isn't something that's immediate.
You
But I'm gonna
want me to? So you want me to see into the future for you? Is that what you're asking?
Well,
Can you do that, please, for me
if,
too?
if you can do that, I'll pay you
Okay.
big bucks.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a question. I'm going to be in it's called Spirited Woman Directory. And it's coming out in December. And I'm interested in also maximizing, I'm featured in an article and then there's a directory.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be another question. And I think it's different than a book because this is an online directory.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be quite a bit different, and it'll be a little more simplistic, probably.
Okay, very good. So that'll be a question for another Hangout, okay?
You betcha. All
Thank
right,
you.
guys. See you at the Mastermind, I believe, next week, and we're gonna make a couple of tweaks to that, and so I look forward to seeing you all there.
Very good.
Okay,
That's
great.
great.
Thanks, Michael.
See you
Bye-bye,
soon,
guys.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Linda. Bye.